Bang, bang. Let's do this thing. I'll see you in just a second. Hello, governors. Hello. Hello. It is your man, JD, the Southern Fried Gentleman, back in the safe confines of Simpsonville, South Carolina. I don't know if you can tell or not. I am back in my normal broadcasting location. I am so excited to be here. We have tons of things to talk about this evening. We have NASCAR racing going on currently. We have LSU and USC. We have Gamecock football and Clemson football to talk about. And man, do I have thoughts. All right, I've got thoughts. I've got questions. I am your birthday boy. Hey, happy birthday to your boy, Jay Dizzle. Celebrating birthday today. Of course, there's no better way to do it than to come live, share some thoughts, and interact with my folks. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Southern Fried Sports, episode 9. I thank you so much for being here. But without further ado, let me jump into this really quickly. NASCAR, got it going on down at Darlington. I am, watching the race. And they play Tyler Reddick's on, they play his communications to his team. And my man, he said, hey, can I get some Tums on this next pit stop? May I get some crackers, some bread, whatever? Like, I need something. So Tyler Reddick is not feeling very well behind the wheel of the car. And I think it might be a flu game. I think he might come out. He's only ran no lower than 4th all day. And he doesn't feel well. And he's one of the best drivers that NASCAR has. So Tyler Reddick, man, get you some Tums, get you some crackers, get you some bread, get you whatever you need. Get something on that tummy and finish out those 500 miles down in Darlington, South Carolina, leading up to the playoffs here for NASCAR. We've got a lot of things going on. Scotty Scheffler today, 7th win, $25 million. His caddy, y'all ready for this? His caddy has made more money than Jordan Spieth this year, than Dustin Johnson this year, and Justin Thomas. Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas. Make sure I said that correctly. Dude, Scotty Scheffler continues to ball out. He did hit one bad shot today. If y'all haven't seen it, Scotty Scheffler, he was coming out of the sand, and he hit what looked to be one of JD's iron shots. He called it off the very inside of his club, and the ball shot to the right. That was not what was supposed to happen. He did bogey that hole, but he came back with 3 straight birdies after that. Holy cow, though, y'all. Man, we have got football in full swing. We've got NASCAR racing. We've got the Braves losing. I've got a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about. Shout out my man Rowdy Rooster over here in the house. I'm here, bro. Appreciate you being here. Mark Kingston in the house. What's up, bro? Hey, let's dive into some football talk, because I did have a ton of interaction from not only Clemson fans, but from Gamecock fans. We had great talk. And so I want to start it out with this question here for Clemson fans. Clemson fans, did you see anything that gives you any hope going forward this season? The first half was, I put y'all right there. I thought that y'all are going to need to be within a touchdown going into the halftime. And y'all were. 1 possession game, 6-0. Clemson's defense kept him in the game. I might have said that here before on Southern Fried Sports. So Clemson kept it close there in the first half. I did have a feeling, though, either going into halftime, Georgia was about to go up 13-0, and then with them getting the ball in the second half, I kind of felt like they were going to end up going 13-0 anyway. And I honestly never saw anything that led me to believe that Clemson would have the offense to come back from being down. Clemson, they missed it. They tried to get Cade into Klubnik tried to get Cade Klubnik into a rhythm very first play of the game. He missed the throw, receiver didn't bail him out, dropped the pass, and from there it was game on, in my opinion. Everything kind of went downhill. And so, Clemson fans, I ask you guys also this. So, do you have anything to look forward to going into this season aside from your defense? And secondly, do you have any confidence that Cade and Garrett Riley can get on the same page and become the type offense that I honestly expected it to be? So here's a tricky one for you. I absolutely wanted Garrett Riley to be the offensive coordinator under Shane Beamer at South Carolina. He was mentioned our first go-around when trying to hire Marcus Satterfield. As soon as we hired Beamer, Garrett Riley was mentioned. I wanted him then. And then we moved on from Satterfield. Garrett Riley, I wanted him again. In case you've forgotten, there was a person here in the upstate who said that Beamer did try to hire Garrett Riley and couldn't get his guy. And it was a whole ordeal where Shane Beamer called out the JV radio station here in the upstate, which, by the way, that JV radio station is getting called out once more. My man Cole Bryson, I'll touch on that in a little bit. But he said that Shane Beamer wanted to hire Garrett Riley, and he couldn't do it, and he ended up at Clemson. And here is the trick to this. I am actually glad now that we didn't get Garrett Riley. Going into his second year here at Clemson, he might improve throughout this year. For y'all's sake, I hope he does. As of now, though, I am not very impressed. We'll talk about this, too, with Susan Lloyd, my Clemson Tigers person here on Wednesday. Don't forget, Southern Fried Sports, episode 10. Coming live with Susan Lloyd of Susan Lloyd Photography. She was on the sideline during the game. So I've already got questions to her. But, yeah, I wanted Garrett Riley, y'all. I did. I wanted Garrett Riley. I thought he was a dynamic offensive coordinator. I thought he was a guy that was on the rise. He, however, has not done what I thought he was going to do at Clemson. I thought that he would be able to bring Cade out of his shell a little bit. I even saw somebody posted, they said Cade looked like Bambi trying to run on ice. So, not only does he not have a good pass game around him, but now y'all are calling him uncoordinated and not talented when it comes to having athletic ability. And so that'll lead me in further here into more of my talk later. I'll get back into South Carolina football also. But Clemson fans, hey, do you have any positives that you're looking forward to? I will say your defense. Your defense put your offense in a prime position there in the first half. Offense just couldn't execute anything. So Clemson defense, y'all got enough defense to win the ACC, especially from what I've seen so far. But there was one team that did outshine the rest. I will touch on that here in a bit too. I got a couple of comments. Let me see here. Mark, I believe it's time to stop looking at Clemson as an elite team. They're still really good, but I do not see them in that upper class of teams anymore. Here's a question I asked. Mark, speaking of that, I said, is Clemson closer to Georgia roster and talent-wise, or are they closer to South Carolina? However, I did ask that question before South Carolina played last night. As of right now, South Carolina is a lot closer to App State and Old Dominion and Georgia Southern, in my opinion. As far as what we see on the field, I'll touch on that a little bit more. Let me see if I had any other Clemson notes. Clemson. I hate it y'all lost, man. I really do. What do you want? What are you looking forward to, though? And hey, how are y'all feeling going into this App State game? 0-1, just got beat down by Georgia, 34-3. Are y'all worried about App State, Clemson fans? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely worried about the Gamecocks Week 2 matchup. Y'all's win our win honestly looked as much like Clemson's loss. We just got lucky and weren't playing the number 1 team in the country. But Georgia probably would have beat us 60-3 the way we played yesterday. So Clemson fans, it's not the end of the world. Y'all will be okay. Let me see here. I've got Rowdy Rooster chiming in. After rewatching the game, 2 biggest issues was not the offensive line. Yeah, we'll get here. I'm going to hide that one back. We'll get back into some more Gamecock talk. But for Clemson fans, how are y'all feeling? App State coming to town this weekend. Do you think y'all might get lulled to sleep? I hope not. What if Dabo Swinney started 0-2, y'all? What if? I'm not saying he's going to. But what if? What if that were the case? And then y'all got NC State and Miami and everybody else coming up soon. I feel, man, now y'all know how we feel. All y'all Clemson fans gloating all this time about ha. Gamecocks ain't what they used to be. Well, Clemson ain't what they used to be. How about that? So, let's move forward, though. I've already touched on a little NASCAR. I've already touched on a little golf. Scotty Scheffler. Man, he was killing the game. Scotty Scheffler was killing the game today. Oh, man, NASCAR, I'm going to touch in on that earlier in a little bit. LSU, USC, underway right now. I think LSU's going to win. What do you guys think? LSU going to win? I think so. They're already getting criticized for going forward on 4th down. We'll see how it plays out. But ladies and gentlemen, it is JD, Southern Fried Gentleman, your birthday boy, coming to you live from Simpsonville, South Carolina. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me see. Let me get a couple more comments. Let me see. Oh, I got my man, Eric O'Brien. Hello, sir. Great conversation we had the other day. Let's see what you said about Clemson. Clemson doesn't develop QB talent, period. Oh, we did mention that. I'm really shocked. Honestly, I'm very shocked. Y'all had this run, man. Taj Boyd, Kelly Bryant, who we've had on the show before. DJU was supposed to be the truth. DJU replaced Trevor Lawrence there for a minute. Trevor Lawrence obviously is the truth. Just got paid $250 million. So you're saying they just got great quarterbacks, though. I think you even said Trevor regressed once he got to Clemson, if I'm not mistaken, Eric. So that a very good point. But that's the thing, man. Is it Joe's? Jimmy's and the Joes make up more than the X's and the O's? That's the thing, too, about South Carolina and Clemson. They got used to being able to just line up and beat people. You can't do that anymore. I need to see more creativity. I did used to see creativity out of both Clemson and South Carolina. But now it's kind of like they got their nose stuck up in the air. They think they can just line up and beat you on talent. No. Just like I can't sit here and beat nobody on talent. I ain't got no talent. You got to be creative. You got to use your brain. Come on, man. Let's see here. I got Rowdy Rooster. Miami is now the odds-on favorite here. As a matter of fact, I'll use that as a segue, Rowdy Rooster. I did want to mention Miami, and I wanted to mention Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt. Now, I was really low on Florida very soon. Like, coming out of spring, I was like, yeah, Florida, I ain't got no hope for them. For whatever reason, though, they started getting hyped up here over the last few weeks leading into the season. Everybody thought they could make a run on this schedule that they got. And I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't. But I also didn't trust Miami. But as of now, Miami most certainly looked like the most dominant team in the ACC. Josh Pate even said, man, they look scary. They look, and I was high on Miami. I was also high on Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech losing to Vanderbilt. Holy, what? Vanderbilt? Now the Gamecock fans, now we got to worry about Vanderbilt too because they beat Virginia Tech. So now we might be looking at 3-9 instead of 4-8. Come on, man. Help a brother out on his birthday. Virginia Tech. I did say, though, that game was going to be electric in the second half. I did say Vanderbilt could blow the lead. And Virginia Tech, man, they had a chance. Gosh, dog it, they had a chance to come back and win that game. Uncle Poops was not very happy about it. But hey, that's the beautiful news of all this. Let me tie all this college football talk up in a bow, and let me hit a few comments real quick. The beauty of this is, at the end of week 1, there's 134 teams in Division I, FCS football, or FBS, excuse me. So let me do the math. Drop the 1, carry the 5, add 2. 67 teams could start out 1-0 this week. And you know what? Miami did. The Gamecocks did. The Georgia Bulldogs did. Sorry, Clemson. Y'all were on the bad side of that stick. 0-1. Best of luck the rest of this year. I highly don't think that we will beat y'all come rivalry weekend. That opinion might change. I don't know. But college football is well underway. It's been fantastic so far. We've had such great talk. I've had so many people commenting me. I had people texting me. All that kind of stuff. Let me hit a few of these comments here. So Miami, like I said, is now the odds-on favorite to win the ACC. Bang, bang. Here's one. The Sports Nuts chimes in. Brandon, my man. Not sold on NC State. That's one thing I wanted to talk about too. NC State and Western Carolina. They went blow for blow. There were so many close games. There were so many FCS schools giving FBS schools fits this weekend. And so, fingers crossed, all right? It's just week 1. I know we're fanatics. I know we are going to overreact to every little thing we possibly can. Literally, the word is fanatic. Also could say lunatic. They both end in TIC. So lunatics, fanatics. We're all lunatic fans. We're all fanatical lunatics. And so, of course, we're going to express our discontent at every chance we get. And so now, I haven't jumped into any Gamecock talk. Let me hit this one more comment from the Sports Nuts. Clemson's talent is comparable to both UGA and Miami talent. It's simply that they were outcoached. I would say Georgia would have beat Clemson worse if they had their top 2 running backs. I think we would have been looking at 21-0 first half versus 6-0 if ETN and the other running back 1 for Georgia were playing. So yeah, not a lot of good stuff to look forward to for South Carolina or Clemson football fans right now. The potential is there. We need to see the coaching and the creativity Add those to my dirty C word list. Chemistry, culture, competition, commitment, coaching, and I forgot the other one, but it don't matter anyways. Dirty C words. If you get good at the C words, you got a chance to be successful, in my opinion. And so, y'all, with all of that, let me reset myself here really quickly. Give me just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and I will come right back and we'll figure out our Gamecock talk. Got to talk more Gamecock stuff. I got a few things to talk about. I'll be right back. That is my Feeding the Duck jam, y'all. Sorry, I got to play it a little bit every now and again and get hyped up. I don't know if y'all can tell. I got the door open. JD is kid-free, wife-free. Everybody's still up in Brevard, North Carolina. We had a tremendous vacation. Had a great time. We went hiking. We went down to the creek, or the creek, whatever you want to call it. And we watched tons of football. So now it is the Gamecocks' turn. Yeah, I'm so happy to talk about this. Not really. Not really. As I said, we are fanatics. And I really don't understand how we can get told every year that this is the best team I've ever had. And yet every year, everything looks the exact flipping same. You got your offensive line, okay? You got these dudes letting through more untouched blockers. They look like a freaking colander. Do you guys know what a colander is? It's where you drain your noodles and there's all these holes and the water just comes through the holes. That is the offensive line for the South Carolina Gamecocks. And the defensive lineman is that water. And the noodles trying to come out are our running backs and our quarterbacks and our receivers trying to run the ball. But they get stopped by the colander. But all the other water and the other defensive backs get to come right through the holes. Like at this point, I really don't understand it anymore. And this is what's so crazy. I mean, I had people text me last night. They said, bro, y'all are playing so bad. Eric O'Brien, he's right here. This is the one that texted me that. I'll read his comment in just a second. But he texted me or messaged me last night and he was like, bro, I'm not even a fan of y'all's and I'm yelling at my TV for you right now. So how do you think we feel? All right. Our quarterback rushed the ball 9 times in the first quarter. You want to know how many play action passes we executed off of those 9 rush attempts? 0. Goose egg. Not a 1. So anytime that you come out and you're running the ball 12 times in the first quarter, surely enough, your offense should be coordinated enough to run a play action pass, right? Where is Nick Harbor? Hey, shout out to me. I said this after the spring game. I said wide receiver is going to be an issue. Anytime that you don't throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field for an entire scrimmage, there's going to be issues. And I said that. I called that. And everybody's like, nah, you're crazy. You're reading too much into it. Bang, bang. I was right. You have to extend the field vertically. You have got to loosen up the field to be able to run the ball and to be able to pass the ball. If you're not able to do that, you're not going to be successful. And so, yeah, everybody told me I was crazy when I said that wide receiver was going to be a huge issue for us. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. Let me see here. Let me get some of these comments in, y'all. Let me interrupt myself for a moment. Let me get back to where I was. Rowdy Rooster in the house. Thank you for being here, sir. I'm biased as a Gamecock fan. I'm glad Dabo is dumb and not using the portal. But Clemson fans have to be furious at his dumb pride. Let them start out 1-2, Rowdy Rooster, which I think might happen. We'll see how hot Dabo's seat gets turned up very quickly. I don't think he'll be fired, but I could see him pulling a Steve Spurrier. Just saying. I could see him pulling a Steve Spurrier, y'all. He might wait till the end of the season, and we can call it a Nick Saban. I could see that happening, though. Very well. Dabo, he got questioned about the transfer portal after the loss yesterday to Georgia. Obviously, he was not very happy about it. He will not take these questions very long, though, I don't think. He might have 1 foot out the door. I could be wrong. Eric O'Brien. Bryant didn't develop either. He was held up by crazy talent around him and a great defense, plus a weak ACC. Watson is the only one who progressed to his first 3 years there. DJ and Cade been bust. No lies detected. No lies detected there. I'm a fan of Kelly Bryant, though. I will say that. He did very well once he went to Missouri. We even had him on a show before. I love Kelly Bryant. Now doing real estate. Shout out Kelly Bryant. But yeah, I mean, I could see. There was a post about him too that he got involved in on X not long ago, and as a matter of fact, somebody called him the most undervalued quarterback in Clemson history because he was kind of supposed to be that glue between Deshaun and Lawrence, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But he was supposed to kind of hold that quarterback room together there for a minute. And, I mean, he did a pretty good job. Yeah, he transferred out. I could see why Clemson fans might be mad about that. If I were Clemson fans, I'd be very upset about any player that I lose in the portal, that Dabo will not try to go out and grab another one through the portal. Let's see here. Let me see here. Vandy has this even year, odd year stuff. Every time it's an odd year, they're terrible. Even years, they're they're decent. You have told me that before, Brandon. My thing about Vanderbilt, though, is they've always been a team that the Gamecocks own. And after their upset of Virginia Tech this weekend, I just went from counting 4 automatic victories down to 3 because Vanderbilt at this point could very well beat us. Also depends. I think we get them at home, hopefully. But yeah, hey, Gamecock fans, let me get back to my Gamecock stuff. Gamecock fans, I asked Clemson fans, was there anything positive to look forward to going forward in this season? I did see one thing. Dylan Stewart and Kennard, edge rushers. Man, I'm telling you what, those dudes, we saw the pictures of Dylan Stewart and his transformation that he had. He's got a bend to him, man, and he's only a freshman. But good gravy. I mean, depending on what happens, he could be in the portal. He could be looking to go get paid elsewhere. By the way, don't forget, we are a feeder school. We feed other top programs a little bit better talent. So it could very well be the case that we lose Lenore Sellers, Nick Harbor, Dylan Stewart, Kennard, Eamon Worry. NFL bound. DQ Smith, NFL bound. Kilgore, NFL bound. But aside from those guys, we might lose some of them for sure. And y'all, yeah, just my Gamecocks. I didn't see a lot, though, to be happy about. I asked before, does it matter what 4-8 looks like? And so we have prime example A last night. If we continue to play and look like that and go 3-9 or 4-8, Beamer's going to have to go. I'm not calling for it yet. Like I said, it depends on what it looks like. And Beamer's teams have always kind of improved throughout the year. So hopefully we have a very big jump between game 1 and game 2. Because if not, we are going to be in for a very rude awakening, as we are already 8.5 point dogs at Kentucky next week. And so, yeah, again, here, let me get the rest of these comments in. Thank you guys for being here. Rowdy Rooster, Eric O'Brien. Yep, that's what I was just saying, Rowdy Rooster. A team makes its biggest progression from game 1 to game 2. I've always heard that, but I've actually never seen it to be the case as far as Gamecock goes. I mean, dude, we were gifted the ball twice inside the 10-yard line last night, 14 points. We should have lost that game. I don't know what bailed us out. Maybe it was the football gods. But we very well could have lost that game last night. And so, yeah, this is what I'm banking on, though. My one big thing, though, Lenore Sellers. They said he's got high IQ, but we had to call 2 timeouts just to run the clock out at the end of the game. And that was his first home start. Now we going on the road, where South Carolina does not win in the SEC very often on the road. We just haven't. Ever since the Spurrier era, we have not won games on the road in the SEC. I think we might can go ahead and chalk Kentucky up as a loss. I hope not, but I think we might very well do that. Let's see here. Eric O'Brien. What about Oregon looking terrible versus Idaho? What about Texas Tech almost losing to Abilene Christian in overtime? I was very shocked about this Oregon thing. Like I said, man, there were a lot of FCS teams that gave FBS teams fits this week 1. It can't be because of NIL. I mean, well, it could be. It could be because all these players are more worried about getting paid instead of putting in the work. And then you got teams like Idaho and Western Carolina and North Dakota State putting in the work in the practice field and in the film room versus trying to get more NIL money. So maybe it is NIL based. But it's not because these teams are getting better players because of NIL, which is what I was referring to. Because Oregon's already said they'll pay for a championship. Phil Knight will put out whatever NIL money he wants to buy a championship for Oregon. So is it because of NIL? Comes back to my dirty C words. Coaching, culture, commitment, chemistry, camaraderie. What else we got? Bang, bang. I'm sure there's more. I'm just going to keep adding to this dirty C word list. They're so good, right? It just works. But hey, again, thank you, Eric O'Brien, for being here. Thank you, Rowdy Rooster, for being here. JD5 can't block 7, bro. That's not what I saw. Absolutely not what I saw. Rowdy, yeah, let me touch on that one real quick for the Gamecocks. That is not what I saw from the offensive line. Let me go ahead and clarify that now. I saw they ran a 3-2-6. So what I saw was 3 down defensive linemen would start their rush on our offensive line, the Gamecocks offensive line I'm talking about. And for whatever reason, the Gamecocks offensive lineman would look to help the person beside him before scanning the rest of the field for any other rushers or tacklers. And I saw free blitzers and free tacklers. We gave up 4 sacks and 10 tackles for loss. No other SEC team came even close to that in their week 1. That is a red flag. That is what we would like to call a red flag. And like I said, if anybody figures out that we can't defend against a delay blitz, toast. Gamecocks will be toast, bro. I'm telling you, that's not what I saw. They were not rushing 7. I mean, they might have a couple of times. But most of what I've seen and what I've saw was communication, inexperience, and a lack of letting Lenore Sellers get into a throw-in rhythm early on in the game. Let's see here, Sports Nuts. It's all hype. That's it. You're taught as a coach to tell everyone this is better than last. Yep, I got a few coaching things in me here. Oh, yeah, here, let me get back. Let me get Rowdy Rooster. He had that one comment up here earlier. After rewatching the game 2 times, our biggest issue was not the offensive line. It was tight ends not blocking, lone backers, and wide receiver not blocking on the perimeter. Some blame falls on Sellers. I think a lot of the blame probably falls on the coaching staff for not having Sellers and the rest of this very young team more prepared going into their first game. As I said, they didn't try to get him into a rhythm other than running the football. And so by the time he did go to throw the football for the first time, he was probably gassed. I mean, he was on pace to run the ball 36 times after the first quarter. And then, Harbor, a lot to be desired here. I know he's still raw, but what, man? It wasn't just him, man. I didn't see anything from any of the wide receivers. Bennett showed up a little bit. Van Drevius, he showed up a little bit. But I saw mostly missed passes, lack of execution. So I'm not blaming the players. I'm blaming coaching for lack of execution throughout all of this Gamecock game. Y'all, we've got LSU, USC going right now. Rowdy Rooster run game was definitely there. Yeah, but they didn't. And that's the thing. I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Fact is, at the end of the day, you've got some positive things to look forward to. Hopefully, the coaching staff is highlighting and diagnosing all of these issues that all of Gamecock Twitter and all of Tigers Twitter are putting out there. I'm sure they're not. But hey, that's what we're here to do on Southern Fried Sports. We're here to resolve the issues. Rowdy Rooster, again, thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you. Eric O'Brien, let me get your last one in here. Legit question. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 moment. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fan-submitted question from Eric O'Brien. Legitimate question. I get wanting to be better, but SC has never been a contender, but for 3 years. They will always be a low-tier program and destination, but this result has been unacceptable for y'all. And see, I mean, you pretty much said it there in your first few words. We just want to see better. As I said before, I would be okay with us losing 4 games or 8 games this year, going 4-8, depending on what it looked like. Last night was not it. Figure out an offense or a defense, a special teams. Our biggest pass play last night was off of a special teams fake punt. You're using your creativity in all of the wrong places, in my opinion. Figure out a freaking offensive scheme that fits your team and that you can run. I don't care if you do like my high school at Clinton High School. Back in the day, we would throw the ball 3 times and we would run it 38 million. All right? If that's what it takes to win at South Carolina, freaking do it. Figure out, fix your problem, do what you freaking need to do to make the best decision possible for your team to win games on Saturday. Garrett Riley and Cade Klubnik. Oh, but we want to throw the ball down the field and we want to do this, we want to do that. Do what you got to do to win the game. I sound like my man Mora. We play to win the game. Play to win the game. If I see well executed football, I don't care if you hand the ball off 22 times. I don't care if you throw it 56. Just do what you got to do to win the game. Right? Right. Braves. I was going to mention the Braves here. So, yeah, let me tie all this in a nice little bow, everybody. It's my birthday. Happy Labor Day. Y'all be safe, be blessed, all of that fun jazz. But, man, yeah, Gamecocks. I better see more execution. Tigers. Y'all better figure out some creativity. NASCAR. Playoffs are about to start. Golf. Scotty Scheffler. We got U.S. Open tennis. How about tennis? I like some tennis. Have y'all ever noticed, though, they make the men play the best 3 of 5 and the women 2 of 3? Is that disrespect to the women to think that they can't play a 3 of 5? They can only play 3 sets? Unless, of course, they're tied, in which case they'll play more. But whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. But again, Erica Bryant, Brandon, Rowdy Rooster, Mark, Brian, all of my fans, y'all be blessed. Don't be stressed. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend. I think I talked about it, everything I want to talk about. I think I'm fried. I think I'm Southern fried. And y'all know that I love you very much. Shout out to my beautiful wife, my beautiful children, everybody in between. And on the way out, I'm going to give y'all a little feed in the ducks treat. Y'all be blessed, not stressed. Be kind. And go execute. All right? Be well planned and go execute. Love.